Collaboration is so important in this industry, especially when you're starting out as a songwriter, for a few reasons. Number one, it gets you out of your own head. We tend to find a style and find our comfort zone in writing, and we just tend to stick with that. And after a while, every song starts sounding the same, and you're using the same chords and using the same words even. And so collaboration is essential to just get you out of your own head and offer things you would have never thought of because you're just not in that space. The other reason why collaboration is so important is because it increases your odds. Now you have 2 people or 3 people working your song for you out there in that industry, including their teams of people that they have, their publishers or their managers. So it increases your odds in sharing it with the industry and with the rest of the world. The other thing that collaboration really brings is an energy to the room. Sometimes I'm not in a space to write a song about me and about something that I'm going through. Maybe I'm not even going through anything. You know, the hardest songs I've ever had to write is when I'm in love and I'm happy and things are great. So writing with a co-writer brings you another story. It brings you someone else's experience to draw from. And I think that's really important. The way that I choose a collaborator with my songwriting has changed drastically over the years. I think when I first began in Nashville, I would just basically write with anyone who said yes, which was great. That's where we all began. Obviously, we always want to write up. We always want to write with people better than us because that's how we learn. And it's honestly the only way that we learn. But some of those people are going to say no. So you find the people in your graduating class. You find the people that are going to say yes. So that's where I started. And then my next stage is I started writing for a publishing company that said, here's who you're going to write with today. And this guy's an amazing lyricist, and this girl just had a big hit, and this one is writing amazing lyrics, but they haven't had a hit yet, but we think they might one day. And you know, everyone was established at some level, and everyone had a specialty. And so that I chose my collaborator on that. So then I did that for about 5 or 6 years. And one time I had the privilege of writing with a co-writer named Hal David. Hal David is, you know, of the famous songwriting team, Burt Bacharach and Hal David, who wrote so many songs. I mean, they're just legends, and their songs are still heard to this day. One day at lunch, I asked him, why did you only write with Burt Bacharach all these years? Why only one collaborator? And he said, you know, you have to be able to trust your co-writer. And I went, oh, yeah. You know, and I'm friends with all my co-writers, and so I'm like, yeah, I trust them. Sure, I trust a lot of them. And he said, no, here's what I mean. He said, every time that I had a question, whether the music or the melody was right, I trusted Burt to always make the best choice for the song. And he said, and whenever there was a question lyrically, whether it worked or not, Burt always trusted me to make the best choice for that song. And I was blown away. I remember going home that night to my hotel in Los Angeles, and I wrote down all of my active co-writers that I had at the time. And there were 128 of them. And I put a mark by the ones that I could trust to always make the best choice. And I had 2 out of 128. And I still write with those 2 people to this day. We've had a long career writing with each other. And I get now that's why it works. Because I trust their idea, I trust their instinct, I trust their intuition. They're not trying to prove themselves to me in the room. You know, and they're not trying to come up with something so they can say they came up with it. They're just making the best choices. Today I choose my collaborators by inspiration. Who inspires me? If you have a story that I know I could contribute to and write a song from it, I'll write with you. If you are an artist and you're really struggling finding that last ballad for the album, and you really want a place in your album or in your show to express something really specific, so that's what I look for. Today, if someone wants to just co-write with me for the sake of co-writing and saying they wrote a song with me, I don't do it, because it's effort. It takes a lot of effort. So I think that, you know, we start by writing with everybody so that we can find the ones that we trust and that are effortless.